put it on? Answering questions about braids. So whatever questions you have about braids, braiding, just leave a comment. I need to try this. Orange beads. Okay, so to do my bobs, and only my bobs, I always use a full lace wig, fully laced. Doesn't matter where I get it from as long as the quality is good and doable. And then the braiding hair that I use, that I always use, that I can only use to do the bob, is this hair right here. You want to make sure that it says Holiday Magic. Yes, it's a full lace wig, completely laced, fully laced. This is what it looked like before I started, and this is what it looks like now. Yes.
I want Jules.
Okay. Thank you.
Mommy, can I have some baby chocolate?
It's water. You want water?
I want more chocolate.
No, chocolate's not good for you.
I did it.
No, it's not.
I want to drink water. Mommy, I want to drink
Well,
water.
my prices, for my prices, you can go to my website, ChiquitaBraidsCollection.com, and you'll see all of my prices, my pricing.
I want water. I want some of your water.
Okay. You want some of my water?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like to share my water, so you can go over there and ask.
Daddy?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. To,
No. No, can I some of your water? Please? Please, Mommy, if you share.
Hold on, what did I say?
Mommy, if you share, I'm not gonna be your mommy.
What?
If you share, I'm not gonna be your mommy no more.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Are you gonna share?
No, I'm not gonna share.
Okay, I'm not gonna be your mommy.
Okay, you can start by walking away.
Hmm?
Start by walking away.
Okay.
The stand that I'm using is not good. She don't want to stay. Let me see. Maybe I can put it in. There you go. All right, I just put the link in the comments so you can check out the pricing. But if you're talking about the prices for the wigs, it varies. It depends on the person that you get it from. Some people sell it for as low as 75. It's between 75 to maybe like 110 for the full lace to get the full lace wig by itself. Nice to meet you, Joseph Raymond Antonio. You're welcome. Um, well, to do these, I ask customers for up to 3 to 4 weeks for like bobs and small long plaits because they take the longest. It takes the longest to do these. What I do is I make the wig per order. So when a person puts a wig in, I order the wig, and then I have to wait for me to receive the wig, and then if I have to order the braiding hair, that takes time too. So everything kind of like I have to put into consideration. So that's why my time frame is 3 to 4 weeks. If everyone that's watching can do me a favor and just hit the thumbs up button, please, to kind of help out YouTube little algorithm. I truly appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the thumbs up. So I'm gonna just explain the whole process of what it takes for me to start one of these orders and then get it shipped out. So like I said, when a person places an order, I then go ahead and purchase the full lace wig. I wait on the wig to get to me, and if I can just go to the beauty supply store and purchase the hair, then I'll go to the beauty supply store. But if I have to order the braiding hair as well, that's another that adds on to my wait time. And then once I receive the wig, I go ahead and depending on the amount of orders, if I have more than one order, I'm gonna bleach the knots for every last single one of them. Or maybe I'll do like 2, or it depends. So I bleach the knots, and then I start working on whatever customer put in their order first. I am in Florida. Florida. I'm originally from, well, I was not originally, but I'm originally from Miami. If you're new to the live, please go ahead and smash the thumbs up button for me. Truly appreciate it. I just want to answer any questions that you may have when it comes to braiding so that I can answer to try and help you better master your braiding skills. Okay, I'm not too far. I'm like 45 minutes away from Broward. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Miami Gardens. And I'll be waiting. I'm waiting for the lockdown to be over with myself. Having a braided wig is super convenient. You just throw that bad boy on and walk out the door. Sometimes, you know, you can do the little baby hair. Sometimes you don't even have to do the baby hairs. All right, shout out to Georgia. Mm. So if you're braiding too tight, if your braids is curling up because you're braiding too tight, then you're braiding too close. All you got to do is just okay. I'm gonna show you an example of me braiding way too tight. If I was to curl it, if I was to burn it, it'll curl up. So braiding too tight would be like you just really squeezing that braid and it's really staying tight and close. All you got to do is just slip your fingers down a little and keep going. Don't squeeze too tight and stay too close. Just glide down a little and keep going. That's it. I've been doing these size braids since 2004. I part and pull. Like if a person have short hair, I don't part. I just pull and braid, pull and braid. It's more easier. It's a lot difficult when a person don't really have hair. So I just part and pull. See, you can see. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see like this part right here is the only part that's extra tight. Everything else is just slightly looser, and then when it gets right here, it's tight. But just loosen up a little bit, and it'll come out how you want it to come out. And just practice. I've been braiding for a long time. Somebody wrote me on Facebook today saying that they have a hard time like starting the braid off. Let me see if this retarded stand would let me kind of lean it in. So if she catch this live, hopefully this will help. But if you have a hard time starting off your braid, this is what I do. You kind of divide whatever section you take out into 3. And then you have, you divide the hair into 3, and then you divide the weave into 3. I don't know how to do 2s. I've always braided with 3. And then now that you have your 3s, I do it with both hands. You split the hair in 3. So each strand, each of the weave strands should have some of the hair, either the hair from the wig or the hair from the person head. And then you just bring each end into the middle. Now, to keep it like close and not falling apart or slipping out, what you want to do is you want to keep this hand, whatever hand, if you're left-handed, right hand, whatever hand, you want to keep this hand as firm as possible. And then you bring each end inward. So you bring each end inward, and then you're making sure when you bring each end inward, you are really pressing down, not too tight to where you pull the person hair out, but tight enough to where the braid doesn't fall out of place. And then you just keep bringing it in and bringing it in. And then you can keep doing this until you feel comfortable like just braiding it. I'm going to do it for a little bit, and then I'm going to just braid it. And then you just start braiding. If that's what you have problems with, I would just keep practicing that and keep practicing that and keep practicing that. Okay, that's a good question. If you don't want, and this is good for like when you're doing big box braids. If you don't want the hair to be too full and too heavy, you want to part, and it really depends on the kind of person, the kind of hair that you're dealing with. If a person have fine hair, then you really don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about it. You just use less of the weave, but not you don't want to use too less because you don't want it to be too thin. You got to kind of eyeball it. But if you're dealing with a person with a lot of hair and you don't want it to be too full, you would part a bigger section of their hair and you would use less of the weave. But you have to make sure that your measurements is even, because if it's not even, then you're just going to have wobbly braids. People with natural hair, it really depends on what kind of braids you're doing, because you can braid the hair tight, and when you dip it in the hot water will loosen that braid up. But if you burning it, it's gonna curl up like onion rings. Is it the tightness make water bumps on the fingers? I don't know what that means. I don't get no bumps on my fingers from braiding. What do you mean flexible? I'm not sure what you mean flexible. From root to end? I don't understand what you're asking. If you could explain it to me another way so that I can understand and answer your question, that would be great. Okay, so if you want the braids to not be stiff, then you just dip it in hot water. The hot water will loosen up the braid. It should loosen up the braid. I've never done I've never done rope twists like fully, so but I've never gotten nothing never happened to my fingers from braiding. I mean, once in a blue moon I'll stiffen up, but that really rarely happens. Yes. How can I help you?
I want food.
You just ate.
I want more food.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna explain it again one more time
Why?
for the grip. How to grip the braids tight at the root.
I tried it. Mommy, can I have socks? Mommy, can I have socks? Mommy, can I have socks?
No.
These socks.
No, can you go in the room?
Mm. I don't smell that.
I don't know. If it's messing your fingers up, I don't want to say that you have to get used to it, because who knows? You might not get used to it, and your fingers might just get all messed up. So I don't know. I don't know how long you've been braiding. I don't know. I want to do a video on how to what do you call those braids? Knotless. How to do knotless braids on a full lace wig. That's what I want to do. Some hair are some braiding hair is extra rough, but the one that I use, I've never had any issue with. So I mean, maybe you can try that to see if it works for you. I do what works for me. Okay, 5 years. And that always happened? Tila, I'm glad this video was helpful to you. It sounds like braiding is just not for you, Sandy. I'm gonna show you how to grip the braids again. How to start the braid off from the root. All right, so let me try to get a good angle. Alani, I'm gonna need you to go in the room while I'm gonna get the belt. See, it's right there.
Where is it?
It's right there. Well, you need to ask somebody else to get you some food. I can't help you right now. No, I can't. The only way I can help you is with a beating. You want a beating? You want to get a pop? That's the only thing I can help you with.
No. Only I want.
Okay, let me see this. It's right here. It should be good.
Daddy, I want more beans.
Okay, let me turn a little bit. All right, right here. Boom. Okay, so when you first start your braid off, since I'm doing small braids, I'll go off of that size. You want to make sure that you have the right amount of hair for the braids that you're doing. I've been doing this for a long time, so I can naturally see the amount that I want. But if it's not too much, if it's not enough, you just grab a little bit more. If it's too much, you just take a little off. You want to make sure that your sides are even, sides, whatever you want to call it. But you're going to make 3 strands. You want to make sure that your strands are even. So you got the whole thing, just pinch off a little bit, bring those 2 together, and then it should be even. So once you have your even strands, your even 3 strands, you want to put them together, and then you want to split the person's hair or the wig into 3. That way each of your 3 strands will have some of the hair from the person's head or the wig. And then what you want to do is you're going to start bringing each end in. And when you bring each end in, whichever one you bring in, you want to make sure that the other hand, the opposite hand, has has a firm grip. And then when you go to bring the other side in, you want to pull that opposite side and hold it down tight so that when you bring it in, your braid will stay in place. And you just want to press really nice and firm, not too hard to where you are pulling the person's braid out. Bring it in, hold it down. Bring it in, hold it down. Just do that until you can braid it out. Bring it in, hold it down. Keep it close and firm. Close and firm and tight. Not too tight, but tight enough. And you just hold it down to make sure that it stays in place. And braid it out. Dang, I hope you saw that. Dang, I hope it was a good angle. Or hopefully, you just take what I say and apply it. I should have checked. I didn't check. The only thing I use is hair grease. I use any kind of, it doesn't matter as long as it's slippery because sometimes, a lot of times, my hands get dry, and I just dip it in some grease and keep going. So that's what I use when I'm braiding. Uh-huh. Interesting. I had a customer. She said that the hair, it makes her itch or it breaks her out. And she asked me before I did her hair, is it okay if she could dip the hair in vinegar? I don't know if it was. I believe it might have been. I don't know what kind of vinegar it was. I don't know if it was apple cider vinegar or what. But she asked if it was okay if she could dip the hair in vinegar before she came to her appointment. I said it was fine, and that worked for her. So maybe that'll work for others too if you are allergic to it or if it irritates your skin. Where did I put my comb? I think she took my comb. Alani? Alani? Oh, never mind. When it comes to getting the hair even, you just have to make sure that you portion it. For me, it's like, I can just eyeball it. And you can kind of feel like if the hair is too much or if it's too little. If you need to add more, if you don't need to add more, if you need to take some out. It's just something that you get used to over time. All right, Brittany, you are out of here. Peace. You tried it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining my live. I'm gonna end it. I've been on here for a little minute. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like content like this, or you need help with your braiding, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate you for watching.